Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Lee Cantor here with Stone Payton, another episode of GSU ENI Radio, broadcasting live from Georgia State University's Entrepreneurship and Innovation Institute. This is going to be an exciting episode, Stone.
Good morning, sir. Yeah, we're starting to hit our stride, right? We got an early episode under our belt, and that's why we've already done one episode. We're going to do 5 or 6 today instead of our typical 4. So you're in for a full day of work. You're going to have to earn your supper today.
I know. Just keep the coffee coming.
Hey, this is going to be a fantastic episode. First up on today's episode, we have with us, with a company named Sisters, Miss Mikayla Oberlton. How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's been a pretty good day. How about you?
Today has been awesome. We love coming down here to talk to the young entrepreneurs and the old entrepreneurs. You got alumni. You got a whole crew here from Georgia State. But the Sisters, that's the name of your company?
Yes.
So tell us about it.
It's like a spin-off rideshare app that works to basically protect women with like the influx of violence with women in Lyft and in Uber. It's like really easy to feel unsafe while traveling. So it helps to mitigate that.
So how does it work?
Basically, when you sign into the app, it gives you several different options to do different things. It works to help get people fingerprinted because in Lyft and in Uber, oftentimes they don't have people fingerprinted. So you never really know if the person you're talking to is actually the person you're talking to. And then when you click into the app, they have a new app that has been leaked that basically has hackers that can almost get into your phone and make sure that the ride you're getting into is not the ride you're supposed to be getting into. This works to get rid of that by scanning the license plate number to make sure that it actually lines up.
Everything matches.
Mm-hmm.
So now, are you a technologist?
No, I'm far from it. I actually do work in IT, which is surprising, but I'm a psych major.
Psych major. So
yeah.
Was this, you were using Lyft and Uber and then this came to you, this idea?
Yeah, I got in a Lyft the other day and there was this girl who was like, really afraid to get into the Lyft with my driver and just canceled the app altogether because she was like, I don't want a man picking me up this late at night. It makes me nervous. And I thought about that and I was like, I get nervous sometimes when I travel late at night. So I was like, I shouldn't have to be afraid to travel back home.
So now you have this idea so is it women drivers picking up women passengers?
I originally did think to do that, but I think since Lyft and Uber are already such booming businesses, completely deconstructing the business wouldn't really help. So just kind of making it more safe, more secure, by giving women like the option to have there's like GPS located safe spots. So like if you have to jump out of a car, which is the reality for some women, you want to know where can I go to be safe. Mm-hmm. And if you need to send your location to law enforcement, then if you need to do that, our app helps with that.
So it kind of is an overlay over the existing Lyft and Uber app? And then, so at what stage are you at right now?
Right now, I'm actually just in the development process. This is a relatively new idea that I came up with for a pitch competition for the CEO group.
And CEO is the Collegiate Entrepreneur Student Organization?
Yes, I'm new to that as well.
So you're new to that group?
Yes.
How'd you hear about it?
The president, Kira, is one of my good friends, and she did like a social media broadcast for people to join. And I was like, maybe I should try it out.
Now, because you had this idea, but you were just like, oh, it's an idea. Like everyday people
I told my
ideas.
dad, and my dad was like, do something about that. And I was like, I don't know what to do.
So you just had the idea. Mm-hmm. So now getting involved in that group helped you kind of have a structure to like flesh it out to see if it's going to work or not?
Pretty much. They basically gave me like a lot of feedback on what I could change and what I could do better. Mm-hmm. And then with the launch program, which kind of works a little bit with CEO, I'm able to start actually building it.
Now, did you do a pitch yet, or you're preparing for a pitch?
I did the pitch maybe 2 weeks ago. It was really nerve-wracking. Getting up in front of a bunch of people and talking about my app was like, it was exciting, but I was definitely stumbling over my words.
Now, isn't it fun to have an idea, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, I'm sure through your life you've had lots of ideas, right? Yeah. And then you're like, now it's an app. Now it's like starting to be real.
Yes.
And that's different now.
It is. But it's also amazing because it's like, I did that. I thought about that.
And then it's starting to come to life.
Yeah. Because when I see other people do it, I'm like,
why not me?
Why can't I do it? Yeah.
And then, so being involved in this group has helped you have a structure. Like, what has been the benefit to you of being involved with the group?
Well, one would be talking in front of people. I get very nervous. My voice shakes, my hands shake. So that's definitely helped me be more confident in just myself. But it's also given me a chance to just work along with other entrepreneurs, because I didn't consider myself an entrepreneur before this. And since I am in the psych major field,
like
when
you
I
thought,
see other
I'm
people
just going to
doing
get a
it.
job,
Yeah, pretty much.
And then now you got this whole other thing happening.
So it's really cool.
So what would you say to other students that also don't consider themselves in their head entrepreneur, that they're going to college, I'm getting a degree so I can get a job?
I think I would tell them, like, anyone can do it. If you look at the numbers, people who go into business for themselves generally make more than somebody who works under someone. And I'm not the kind of person who likes to go in the room and have to be under somebody else's command. So I think that when other people take charge and they see, like, people like me doing it who normally wouldn't consider themselves entrepreneurs, then they can do it as well.
And then so far it's been a fun journey. You haven't had any hurdles?
No, not really. I think more just the nerves would be my biggest hurdle.
And then but the group they helped you prepare for this. They didn't say, here, just go up in front of these people and
No, Kiera actually, she provided us with like a whole group session to practice for it. And she gave us like templates and PowerPoints and was like, here's how you do it and here's how you get it done.
And then what about a team? Do you have people that are helping you?
I don't, sort of. I have my family who's been helping me, who helped me prepare for my pitch. And then I have like my friends who are definitely
what about
like
the people?
helping me.
Someone's going to build the app.
Yeah.
So
my brother actually is huge into technology. So I reached out to him not that long ago.
You got to recruit talent now.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty much what I'm working on.
How's that going?
It's going pretty good. Surprisingly, I have a lot more friends who are talented at this kind of stuff than I am.
You weren't aware of that?
No, not before. People will tell you like, oh, I do this, I do that, but they won't tell you like, oh yeah, I know how to code in Python. Like, I didn't know that. So
did you even know what Python was before?
No idea.
So now you know that.
But a lot of my pageant sisters, they all code. Almost every single one of them. So that was cool, just being like, yeah, I'm trying to create this app. And all of them were like, well, I can do that in 6 different languages. Okay, cool.
You're part of the team.
Yeah.
So now what's the next step for you?
I think the next step would definitely be just talking with my dad about it. He has been kind of giving me my step by step. He actually has like 3 or 4 different businesses. He's pretty good at this stuff. So
he's also helping.
Yeah, he encouraged me as well to do it.
And then are you at the point where are you going to raise money, or are you going to try to get a kind of a prototype done? Like
we're putting out a pitch to Lyft to the actual app. Yeah, we're going right at it. Why not? And my dad's been helping me with that. So I think that's my first step right now, is just getting feedback on it from someone who's doing it. Because if they don't like it, then the app doesn't matter. So do
you need Lyft's blessing in order to make it work?
No, but I certainly think that a blessing from Lyft would be tremendous. So I think that would help.
Now, do you have a website or?
No, not yet. Still working on just, first phases.
Now, how has your experience been at GSU and the Entrepreneurship and Innovation Institute?
It's been really good. I think it's exciting, and they have a lot of different events and practices that you can go to. I think that people just don't take the stuff that they give you and actually use it, because I didn't know about it before. And if I had known about it way before, I feel like I could be way further than I am now.
So get involved early and often.
Well, congratulations on the momentum, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And keep us posted and let us know as you continue to go through this process and that unfolds for you. Let's talk again and get an update. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Do you have the coordinates of the CEO?
Do I have what?
Do you know where, like, how, if somebody wanted to get involved with CEO?
Yeah. It's actually located in the 58 Edgewood building. That's where I work. It's on the top floor. And, if you don't want to go up there by yourself, you can definitely go on the Instagram. It's CEO at GSU, or you can reach out to Kiera Henry.
Maybe you should have an app for going up there by yourself. So, right?
That would be pretty cool.
Be a sister app to sisters.
Yeah.
Hey, stay with us. We're going to visit with a few more folks in this episode, okay? Yeah, you can stay with us?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Next up, please join me in welcoming to the broadcast. These are the guys. This is the Brain Trust from Gilmer Street. It's a production startup. I've got Immanuel Powell with me and Timmy. Timmy, how do you pronounce your last name?
Faderin.
Faderin. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank
Get in there, buddy. Talk like you mean it. Tell us about Gilmer Street.
Well, mainly Gilmer Street is right now we're focusing on like film and photography works. So we're trying to build our craft when it comes to, short films, building ourselves as photographers and videographers. And that's mainly like what we're focused on right now.
So have you done any work? Are you doing your own work? Are you working for other people?
We are working for other people. Right now we're trying to build ourselves up. Right now we have a film in the works that just got accepted into the Cannes Film Festival. So that's mainly what we're focusing on right now.
And so you've made a short film?
Yeah. Well, it's a short film music video style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like a narrative music video.
And then, so who came up with the idea?
It was actually a group that came to us from Georgia Tech that offered us the opportunity to film for them.
Uh-huh.
And, we didn't even think much about it when it came to the awards and everything. And, we placed like top 4, I believe, and like, 109. And when we figured that out, we found out that we're going like Cannes and we're going to Hollywood. So we were like, wow. So that's when we just started trying to build our craft more in the aspects of like, especially when people come to us from different parts who are looking to do commercials, we want to be able to like showcase our portfolio and better things like that.
Read the paperwork.
And then, so you started out doing music videos. That was your first thing?
Oh yeah, that's like a huge thing to start off with in Atlanta. Is just people are always looking to pay for music videos, so that's like that's how basically we started.
And then, so you found musicians. How does that work?
Well, I think it's more like they like find us type things. So we worked with a couple of artists. Like we work with an artist called Wale the Sage. And he came to us with a whole bunch of like his own ideas and things. And like, it's like kind of like a bonding thing. It's like he comes with his ideas and we come with our ideas. And then like, we just build art together basically.
And then, so then you build the visuals on the story that from his words?
Yeah, concept development comes after he comes with the song.
Mm-hmm.
You can put together a shot list, find locations, all the nitty gritty from there.
And then you hire actors or is it usually the musicians that are the actors?
It's usually the musicians, but like if they ever want like a portfolio of like models or like actors to use, we do give it to them. And
then what's your favorite part of the process?
I'd probably say my favorite part of the process is I would probably say it's developing it. Because, like when you develop it, you have so many ideas, even though it doesn't always make it into the final cut. Mm-hmm. But I'd probably say developing and editing is also my favorite part. I really am great at
so
editing.
The shooting part, you have to do that to get to the editing part.
Yeah, the shooting part, we do, but I always hate shooting because on that day I'm like, it's kind of hard because like when you face it in reality, some things that you have in your head aren't being able to like process.
To be captured.
Yeah.
So then, how do you deal with that?
Usually the things you do with it is you always have to just maintain and just run with the flow because if you get haltered or anything, then you won't be able to like make a video at all. So you just have to be able to accept the outcome whatever it is.
Now, when you're filming a music video, how important is the sound element? Is sound not important because you're going to just use the music that they've created as the soundtrack for this?
It always depends on like how you frame it. If you're coming from a narrative perspective, you might want to be able to capture audio on set. But if you're coming from a perspective of just visualizing what he's trying to put hold in the music, then you usually just use the music from the audio basically.
And then from an equipment standpoint, equipment can be expensive. Is this where like being involved at Georgia State helps? Like they have equipment you can rent or have access to?
Yeah, it's a mix between personal investment and resources from Georgia State.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely try to pull from anywhere and everywhere we can.
So now, has there been any challenges that you've had to overcome in order to get where you're at right now?
Most definitely, yes.
So what are some of the challenges you've overcome?
Well, especially in production, when you're trying to start up, everything has such a high mark to get entry. You need cameras and all the equipment. So you really got to put money aside. So personal expenses have to go down. Meals might not be as luxurious, but if you want
because you were investing in the equipment you needed to have the business, right?
Yeah. If you want to practice whenever you want, you got to own what you have. So.
Oh, because it's hard to get the equipment when you need it
Yeah, I mean,
because there's every student here that's involved in the department wants the stuff too.
it's a lot of competition.
So now, how has it been, like the professors and the instructors here? Has that been helpful?
Professors a lot of the time have like helped me with like concept development. They have helped me with like just trying to like build my craft. So it has been helpful a lot, especially with one teacher I had back in sophomore year. He did help me with because I always, if you feel like you have like a lack of infrastructure, it kind of loses your perspective on like who you're trying to become. So he really helped me with like developing my own like style and like what I wanted to be when it came to the film world. And
then what about the CEO? How has that helped you? Like from a business standpoint, because there's one thing, the art of filmmaking, and then another thing is running a production company as a business.
No, definitely. CEO is a fantastic resource at Georgia State because a lot of people want to, build a career for themselves, their own business, and have that financial freedom. But if you're not in an environment where people understand the steps that it takes to get there, then it makes it a lot harder. And CEO provides that environment.
And did you learn anything there, or you knew everything?
Oh no, you definitely, you learn a lot being around people. Just in the first day that I went to go meet some of the members.
What was that first aha moment where you're like, oh, so that's how they do that? That makes more sense.
I was sitting at my computer, like editing, and they were having a conversation behind me, and just hearing the things that they talked about, even casually, was way different than a normal conversation that you would have. Mm-hmm. The ideas that they pitched back and forth and the ambitions that they shared. It was actually very inspirational to see how much they cared about what they did.
Now, what about like from a pricing standpoint? How did you land on what your pricing is?
Double those rates every month. But you have to kind of see what the market is like because, you're going to get paid differently in New York and LA, but Atlanta is an emerging market. And with that flexibility of being able to come up fast, you have to take a lower price point. So you have to definitely see what the market is.
So you're at this stage, you're taking maybe less money today as you kind of build the portfolio and learn the craft and do things like that, knowing that that's going to be laying the groundwork for future increase.
Yeah, definitely a lot of investment, especially in Atlanta, but I feel like it'll be worth it to have a stake in the market so new.
So now you have gotten paid though.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely. Yes. So now what was it like that first time the money started rolling in?
I mean, the first time, that was small money. But
that validated, hey, we are good and we can do this.
Yeah, it really does validate you because it's one thing to have the ambition, but when you see other people value what you're creating on a consistent basis, it makes you feel like you have direction.
And then that encourages you to keep powering through because there's a lot of like this isn't a smooth ride to the top, right? There's a lot of sometimes you go backwards a few steps.
No, absolutely. There's always setbacks, and I feel like especially in filmmaking, something that's so complicated as you go across the process, you have to kind of account for that. I already know that there's going to be mishaps. So,
is it helpful though to have a partner, a business partner? Like, is one of you like if one of you is down, the other one sort of picks the other guy up a little bit and says, "Come on, man, we can get through this," kind of thing.
Absolutely.
It definitely helps a lot because you start to like build off each other when it comes to like working with one another, especially since we're roommates. So it's like easy to just.
So you were roommates before you started the business, or your roommates after?
No, yeah. Before.
And if they stay friends, then this thing could take off.
So you were roommates before you even began the venture.
Yeah.
So you knew each other before, or were you random
each other, like,
roommates?
Before, like we knew each other in like high school.
Oh wow!
And then, so did you always know you'd be doing filmmaking?
No.
So that was an accident?
It wasn't an accident. I always knew I wanted to do filmmaking, but like I come from a home where like the arts is kind of seen as like a risky venture. Mm-hmm. So I started off doing CIS, but then like when you do something that you don't feel like fulfillment, even though like CIS, you're definitely going to like make a lot of money afterwards. But like if you don't feel like fulfillment, then you're not going to be happy with it. And I wasn't happy with CIS. And then like I started just trying to like venture out and do film. And once I figured that out, I was like, wow, I'm actually happy. I'm probably not going to make a lot of money at first, but like this is actually something that I like really want to like build up to.
And then so that was kind of the aha moment for you where you're like, I got to follow this path. This makes more sense.
No, yeah. This was something that I just felt like I had a calling for.
And then how'd that conversation with your parents go?
Really rough. It was really rough. I'm Nigerian, so I come from a household where like it's either you're a doctor, you're a lawyer. It's like you always have to be one another. So talking with my parents on like why I wanted to become a filmmaker, it was definitely wasn't a day process. It was through months of just counseling, being able to like, negotiations, being able to like, just try to like find like a middle ground of like, okay, this is what I want to do and I'm not happy. Can we just find like a middle ground for it? And they figured, did
they make you have like a plan B?
I believe plan B is probably like going back to college and just majoring in another computer science.
So they gave you so much time? They gave you some runway?
Yeah, they definitely gave me enough time to like be able to figure out my craft because they've seen some of my work and they understand what I want to do. So I'm hoping that they can find understanding. I feel like it's still kind of a little edgy when it comes to these topics, but like they understand what I'm going through. Any
advice for other students out there that are going through a similar thing where they're trying to convince their parents that maybe the arts is a path for them?
I'd probably say is to be honest, is because if you try to come from a place where you feel like you need to hide yourself, then you're not going to create the art that you want to create. Or even if you're not doing art, you're not going to be able to like be the person you want to be. Because if you're not honest with them, then you're not honest with yourself.
Don't forget to tell them about media entrepreneurship. The arts can be profitable. You don't have to starve.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to be a starving artist, right?
I'll try to avoid it. I've been through that too many times.
So you've been following an artistic path for longer?
Yeah, I had my start in photography, and this is about my third year in it. I really wanted to challenge myself and take a new route. So when I went into it, wanting to, really skip a couple steps, I had to go through a couple of those hungry nights, and it's hard, but I feel like it was worth it to really hone my craft.
Now, when you were in high school, how did you see Georgia State coming into play? Like, is this what you expected out of your university?
Georgia State definitely did not, it did not let me down at all, actually. I felt like this was a university where I would have my horizons broadened. I would meet people that are serious about what they're doing. And the university has definitely supported me in what I wanted to do. Even when it comes to coursework, you would think your professors would be like, oh, just if you don't like it now, just keep doing it. You'll find your passion in it. But when I was doing computer information systems.
So you were down the same path? The CIS path too?
I just changed my major yesterday.
Yesterday? Oh, wow.
Yes. I was doing it and like living this almost double life where I was doing arts all night and schoolwork all day. But talking to administration, they were literally like, if you have a passion for it and you're working at it so consistently, then find a middle ground. You don't have to do computer information systems just because like you're good at it. Find something that compromises like media entrepreneurship where you can hone your craft and find ways to exist within the industry and protect your intellectual property.
So you're able to kind of get the best of both worlds then?
No, yeah. And I wouldn't have even been emboldened to make that decision or that change without the guidance I've gotten at this university. Like they definitely helped me find my true self. And
then so from a skill standpoint, you're learning there, you're getting a lot of support from the professors and the different, the classes, the coursework that you're taking. And then the Collegiate Entrepreneurs Organization helped give you some structure for the business. So it sounds like you're getting a lot of, you have a pretty good ecosystem here to give you a good shot at success.
Yeah, they definitely keep you well-rounded. They give you everything you need to succeed. You just have to show up to the meetings.
Now, what about, do you have a website, or if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, what's the best way?
My website is powellportraiture.com. If you want to look.
So you don't have a Gilmer Street? No?
Work in progress.
Better get busy, Timmy.
Come on.
It's a startup.
You got two CIS folks here. How hard is it to make a website?
Yeah, really. I was going to ask, but I think now we have the answer. What's the next hill you're going to take? And it sounds like the next hill you're going to take is to get a nice, strong website presence and maybe get some branding strategy and infrastructure up under that, yeah?
Yeah, that's definitely
it's on the list.
Don't let me superimpose my idea on you, but that makes logical sense to me. Plus, our next guest is a brand strategist. So,
I mean, Squarespace sponsor us. I won't stop.
Well, we lost the CIS sponsorship.
Yeah,
I can tell you that. They're not going to sponsor our program anymore. We had 2 defectors. Well, gentlemen, keep up the good work. What an exciting time for you.
Thank you.
This is fantastic.
So what do you need more of right now? What do you need more to grow?
In aspects of growth, I'd probably say
customers.
It's usually customers. Usually starts at customer.
The customers would be nice. Investors are also nice.
Investors.
And then, so you have a strategy to get in front of more musicians?
Yeah, we stay very active in the art scene in Atlanta, and you have to really know the people to work with them consistently if you want to have a healthy relationship. So we really keep our faces out there, and we keep the quality high.
And then do you have a specific genre of music that you work in, or you'll take all comers?
Take all comers. When you're listening to music, it's an experience, and it's all about the emotion that you're trying to invoke.
So storytelling, if that's your style?
Yeah, any kind of music deserves a beautiful visual. So that's what we're out here to create.
And you're looking for partners that believe what you believe.
Absolutely.
All right, so here's a little counsel from Stone. It might be worth what you paid for it, but if you want to meet musicians consistently and build relationships with them, do a radio show that interviews musicians. Just an idea.
Well, I'll come back if you invite me.
Hey, stay with us. We got one more guest we're going to visit with, okay? All right, I talked about her just a moment ago. Please join me in welcoming to the show with Maya Burris and Company, brand strategist. Maya, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are y'all?
Doing well, Maya. Tell us about your work. How are you serving folks?
Well, I just recently started my PR firm about 6 months ago. I've been at Georgia State all 4 years. So when I started freshman year, I got into the music industry because like Immanuel and Timmy were saying, that is easy to get involved into, especially in Atlanta. So I was doing a lot of showcases, meeting a lot of artists, learning how to do pitch decks and EPKs and learning the content to sell somebody. And then once I started learning that with the mentor I was working with, I ended up getting a job at a record label, with Polo the Don. And I worked there for 8 months. I worked with Summerella. I worked with Veronica Vega, and I actually really saw how the music industry works on a PR standpoint. And even though I love music and I love artists, I also thought that, wow, this would be great if I could bring it to like fashion or product development or like businesses that also need branding just more than artists. So I decided to, step away from them. We still have a really good relationship with Zone 4. Shout out to Zone 4. But I decided to expand my horizon, of PR with more clients, other than music.
Right. So you're kind of defining an artist in a broader term, not just music now.
Correct. I would love to even do like a product development for like maybe like Coke or whatever, I would just love to just do more than music. It's so up and down. That industry is so up and down. So
now you're going out to the world to try to find clients now, right?
Yes. This is my last year, so I'm planning to move to California. Mm-hmm. I really feel like moving out there would help my expansion a little bit with the branding and PR. I did pick up my first client, though, which is outside of music, which I was really excited about. She actually does it at etiquette school for kids. So that's a little bit different. So I'm just trying to find different clients, a variety.
So how'd you find this client?
Actually, I posted on Instagram that I was doing like a special for half price website designs and building websites for people. And a high school friend of mine's mom, he reached out and he was like, my mom has a business and she really, really needs help. And she ended up being a great client. She was starting up. I was starting up. So it really worked out well as far as like the growing aspect. That's like my most challenging thing I get nervous about is people coming to me for branding and then me not being able to develop their brand, Right. So I'm still learning.
It's a lot of responsibility.
It is.
Now, are you a web designer too? You do that as well, or you have partners?
I'm a Wix expert. I'll say that. I'm not a coder. I'm not HTML. I'm not any of that. What'd you say? Python. I'm not any of that. But I will say I know the tricks to making a beautiful Wix website.
Mm-hmm. So, and then from take me through that first conversation. You're talking to this etiquette school.
So
right?
first,
how do you kind of even come up with the idea of what's the brand, personality, colors, like look, feel?
That's the first step, definitely. I offer 2 packages. So you have like a branding strategist and then you have a content curator. Branding strategist is also me developing the content and then actually like strategizing and managing it, via social media, website, event activations, things of that nature. But the main starting process when I meet with clients is, okay, what do you want? What are your goals? How do you describe your brand in 3 words? What colors are you looking at? Once I get like the logistics of that, I go into making like a mood board type of thing, coming up with an idea for me to create for their social media. Cause a lot of these startup companies, that's the first thing they want to do. They want followers. They want social media to be popping. They want a great website for people they want traffic coming to them. So I try to figure out ways that I can bring that to them with what they want their brand to feel, what they want their target audience to see and feel when they are sharing their service with them. So yeah, I start with the mood board, color scheme. Then I go into an Instagram audit. If they already have a social media, I look and see, how you should structure your captions, what words you should use, what hashtags you should use, what locations you should use, what target audience you should target first. You know what I'm saying? And I go into that. Then I break down into, what you call it's like a Excel sheet, and it like explains like literally like all the analytics of your Instagram, your social media, your Facebook, your LinkedIn. It goes into like what time you're supposed to be posting, when you were posting, how many followers you're getting, all that stuff. Cause that really makes a difference when you're targeting a specific audience. So those are the first thing I do, logistics, and then coming up with, type of a visual if they don't have it.
Now, regarding how do you choose the channel that's appropriate for them? Like you mentioned Instagram a lot, but like say if you're dealing with music, like are you using TikTok? Or are you using other types of social media channels?
Definitely using other types of social media. I think the biggest thing, because Instagram owns Facebook now, Instagram owns, I believe they own WhatsApp too. They own a lot of
Facebook owns all of them.
Facebook owns all that. Right. Facebook owns Instagram, right, and WhatsApp and all those things. So those are my main things that I use is Facebook and Instagram. When it comes to like artists, other than their social media, I'm more so trying to get publications for them. So I'm working on building their EPK, getting their photo shoots together and trying to get them publications, writers to write about them, bloggers to write about them so that we can be selling them to different other brands so that they can be brand ambassadors and things like that. That's more so what I do outside of the social media when it comes to the artist standpoint.
And that's a different strategy though.
Correct.
Because now you got to build relationships with those bloggers so they know who you are and trust you and like you.
Right. And
how do you do that?
That really was, the biggest help with working with that record label. Having like a name so big and, a producer that's really, really big in the industry, that really helped me with, my clout, I guess you can say, when I am introducing myself. So I was able to meet a lot of, different publications, Sheen Magazine, Rolling Out, and just really building those and connecting.
So now
with
they
them.
know who you are. So when you come to them, in a month or two, they're going to already know you.
They're going to already know. Yeah. And then they know my work ethic. Like when I'm making EPKs for people and I'm sending that to a different, magazine or something, the visual is your main point. You have to have somebody, you have to show them creativity. So I try to put a lot into what I'm pitching, for different people.
So now if you were going to give Immanuel and Timmy some free counsel, what would you tell them about their production company?
Yeah, you guys are definitely on the right track. The best thing I would say is getting that portfolio up, which you guys are working on. Cause that portfolio, that deck, that's what's going to give you free money. Even when I do event activations and I'm getting sponsors like liquor sponsors or different things, like they want to see black and white. They want to see words, and numbers associated with what you're telling them. So, definitely continue to build your portfolio as much as you can.
Now, are you also involved with the Collegiate Entrepreneurs?
I just joined. I met Kiara Key in my...
Key is the key, right? Everybody's got to know Key.
Yeah, everybody's got to know Key. She's the bomb. We're actually in my second E&I class. Entrepreneurship is my minor. So I've been taking a lot of entrepreneurship classes. She was in it. She told us about the CEO organization. I never even heard about it. But I've also never been involved in any on-campus things. I've met everybody at Georgia State, but it's also been off campus. It hasn't really been on campus. So this was definitely an organization that I wanted to be a part of because it was something that was entrepreneurship based and then something that I can say I've actually did at school, like I want to say something.
Has it been helpful?
It has. It really has. Even this, she shared this interview. She was like, hey, you guys want to be on the radio and share about your business? Like, you don't get group messages like that all the time. So,
so you jumped on it. I
jumped on it right away. Yeah.
So now, what do you need more of right now?
What I need more of is focusing on building my brand. I am so doing other people's that I don't really take time to showcase me as a branding strategist and what I can bring. So it's like, I have a deck. I can show you all my portfolio of all the websites I've built for people, all of the stuff I've done for, but it's like, what did you do for Maya Burris and Co? Like, what did you do for Maya? So that's what I'm working on, trying to balance those two.
What is it? Your mood board?
My mood board.
How's that looking?
My colors are very pop. Have a little orange in there. I'm more so on a free-spirited type of energy. I do like a lot of cursive writing and white. I want people to feel that they can bring me their ideas and I can make it whatever they want it to be. So as free as possible.
So your next step is what?
My next step is my move to California.
That's the next thing on.
That's my next.
So you have a place to live? You got a game plan?
I actually just bought my ticket yesterday to go look at some cities. So I leave October 17th. I'm going to do 2 days in Southern California, and then I'm going to go up to Oakland and kind of see, what area fits me the best. So that's the plan. And also bringing as many clients. So if you guys want to connect with me, I would love to help build. I'm actually working with a production company right now, Foreign Made Films. So it'll be good if y'all can connect. That'll be a really good connection.
And do you have a website or social media coordinates?
I do have a social media. My website is up, but it's not running yet. I have to buy my domain. I'm like a perfectionist too, so I haven't really put anything out. But it's pretty much completed. I just haven't released it yet. But you can definitely follow me on Instagram and on LinkedIn. It's Maya Burris, M-I-Y-A, last name Burris, B-U-R-R-U-S. And those are like all my social media handles, my first and last name.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
All right. This is Lee Cantor for Stone Payton. We will see you all next time on GSU ENI Radio.